What's going on, guys? Welcome into episode 97. I feel like it's been forever. We missed the first week of making a show in a long time, and that's on me. Buff had some epic content queued up too. But
I did. You didn't. I mean, you. It's really your fault, man. I just needed your kick account, and I was gonna go to the Vegas Strip, and we were gonna, throw some bills at some attractive naked women. But
most things are my fault.
Yeah, we'll save that for next time. We'll put it in the backlog, and we'll make a event. All three of us will do it together.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We're making our own NFT, guys.
That's right.
That's right.
I was gonna do that, and I was like, man, I'll just send Buff the account. He's got the strip club queued up. He's ready to make it rain. And I was like, wait a minute. I want to be there for that. I'm not gonna miss out on that. What do you mean? So I mean,
all the strippers were like, when are you going live? Where's Crash? And I was like, I'm trying to figure it out.
Just holding on to the phone, just waiting. I'm waiting for the word.
Yeah, you just left me hanging, but the strippers were kind and they understood. It worked out well.
Okay, good.
Everyone loves kind strippers.
Good.
But yeah, for sure. Just
shout out,
so nice.
Shout out, kind
angels.
strippers.
Shout out.
Sweet.
What are we doing?
Angels. Just great.
With the ankle monitors.
Oh god, it's so bad. With all that being said, welcome into the scope.
I'm glad I'm back, man.
Yeah, dude. I was looking forward to this. Where we talk about FPS games, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's what we talk about.
Oh, is that what we do here? My bad.
I mean, we can.
I got distracted. Sorry, guys.
We don't have to.
They said they love me.
I'm one of your co-hosts, Crash, and I'm joined by the best co-host ever, Buffnerd Gaming and BlueTheRobot. What's up, boys?
Damn it, I thought that was me. Shit.
Well, they both start with B, so I had you up until the B, and then that's when I veered off track.
True.
Yeah. What have you guys been doing? I've been gone forever.
Yeah, you've been gone. Yeah, just on a wild man exploration.
I went out in the woods, and I took Starlink with me. It was crazy. I tried Starlink. It's wild. It's actually wild. Like for real. Shout out Elon. Like we might be moving to like my dream home in the middle of nowhere on a ranch.
Oh, yeah.
And I would not be able to do that without Starlink. It's crazy. I had the mobile package so we could pause it when I'm not using it. Nice. And dude, it was crazy. I had a clear view of the sky. I had to test it out because I didn't know there's a creek that runs by the house. I didn't know if the trees would get in the way, and they didn't. So I had a clear view of the sky. It's so wild, man. Because like I set this antenna up in the middle of the yard, plugged it in, hit go on the app. It ran an update, and in probably 3 minutes, I had like high-speed internet in the middle of nowhere. It's so wild.
Crazy. That's so cool.
It's so crazy. And just having internet at that place is surreal to me because before you drop down into the canyon where the house is, I would always go up there and like call my parents or call my wife or something, say, hey, I made it. I made the drive okay, and we're going down in, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. And you go down to the ranch and like there's no signal. You're off the grid. So it's like to be able to like we streamed the football games on Sunday. We were able to do
awesome.
With,
oh my god.
With my little man. I video called my mom from the ranch house. Like, dude, it's just absolutely crazy to be able to do that. It was weird. It was cool, but at the same time, I was a little bit bummed out. It's like, man, I tainted this place with the internet because before it was it's kind of cool to unplug. I don't know, man.
It is cool.
Well, you can just turn it off on your phone. Though.
Exactly. You still have the option to unplug. You know.
Yeah.
It's not like you didn't have the option to unplug in the first place. You know.
That is true. But
you're just upgrading.
It was neat. The latency was like, so I didn't take a PC to game with, but the latency on the speed test was saying like from 40 to 80, which is not horrible. And that's about what I get now. It's definitely playable. So like with our move out, our potential move out there, that's like the first hurdle to make sure I can have internet so I can still do my job. And then now it's kind of moving on to the next step with like financial stuff, but I'm hoping it happens. But we ended up getting 2 mule deer. So it was rifle season. So we rifled a couple deer. So the freezer is full of venison.
Nice.
And that was good. Didn't see any bears. So I think I scared off the bears. Did see some bear tracks and some bear poop. So I don't have all of them out of there yet. But I did leave a note by his potential toilet spot to meet me for a fight. So
there you go.
The last bear and I may be drawing a circle and sorting this out. So we're trying to rid Oklahoma of bears.
You're the guy. You're the guy to do it, Crash. I believe in you.
Oh yeah, because I'm mad. I'm fighting for the homeland when we go there. But no, man, it was awesome. I have a lot of stuff to figure out with YouTube direction. I've been saying that for a while. I got a couple different directions to go. I don't think this podcast is going anywhere though. This has been like the one solid thing with my content, and I don't know, not to get emotional, but I appreciate you guys joining me for it. And it's just always nice to have, like, you know what, on Mondays I know what I'm doing. I'm talking about FPS games. Like,
I look forward to it. Yeah, I look forward to it every Monday. It's great.
So no, man, got back. I played some Rainbow Six. I'm telling you, dude, that is the wildest feeling ever. Whenever you haven't looked at a computer screen in like it was like 10 or 11 days, and then to sit down and like move your mouse and how fast the screen moves, it's crazy. It feels so weird. But I did, not to brag, I got 3 points away. I got 3 points away from Emerald 1, and the next step will be Diamond. So like, but the new season probably starts tomorrow, so I'm not gonna make it. But man, I got to the top of Emerald in Siege, so that was pretty cool. Shout out to my stack for carrying me.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. The Starlink thing was crazy. There's also a new NetDoomer router coming out. I have a NetDoomer router now to help me with my connection issues. But there's a new router, and they're doing a new kind of software that will build in a little bit of latency to make it solid. So if you have a connection like mine, especially with Rainbow Six, where I live in the sticks already, kind of, that has a lot of jitter, it'll build like a jitter buffer of like a few milliseconds. So it will like give you, if you have a ping, allegedly, if you have a ping that bounces around from like 30 to 80 or whatever, maybe it'll put you at like a 50 ping with a little bit of a buffer, and it'll be solid. It'll eat those jitters, which is
nice.
Could be pretty cool to couple, and might help with that.
It could help with the Starlink stuff eventually.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see
make up for the loss.
What they're doing with that too. I'm telling you what's going to happen, man. They're going to get fiber at my house, and then I'm going to move away from it and go to Starlink and be so sad. I'm going to be so sad. But did you guys have good Thanksgiving? Did you slam some food or anything good?
I ate a lot of food. It was fantastic.
Blue?
No, I had a pretty quiet one, only because we were still kind of sick. So my son ended up going with the grandparents and stuff like that. And then my brother had to go spend time with his in-laws because he's married as well too. So it was very quiet Thanksgiving, but it was still nice. We ate some food. We just relaxed. Pretty quiet this time. It's kind of just like, it's like it was the first Thanksgiving of just like, oh wow, we're all adults now. Like, you know, my brother's not here this year. He's out with his wife's family. You know, life happens, and it was just like, okay, that's fine. You know what? We still got next year. Next year, we want to have Thanksgiving at my house, especially because we just moved. You know, so we were, you know, we're still getting things settled in and stuff like that. So it's only been like almost 3 months now. So since we moved to this place, so
that'll be sweet.
Pretty nice now. I got to pretty much though just relax, do what I needed to do, and we'll talk about that later because I got to play some really cool games lately and get to talk, and it was nice. I didn't do a lot like family wise, but I did a lot content creation wise.
That's awesome.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and congrats to Blue, by the way, on the 6K, man. 6K subs.
6K.
Got it. That's awesome.
Are you getting close to 61?
Jeez. Yeah.
There you go, awesome, man.
I'm not jealous. No, that's awesome, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Buff, you been codding, huh?
Codding it up.
I've been known to do a little COD here and there.
He dabbles. Don't let it fool you over there.
I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed the ACR video recently. I just love seeing the conversions. Well, so you had the first one with the ACR by itself, the
681,
the 681, and then you had all ACR variants in one video as well too. So, and then even the Paratrooper M249, I was like, yeah, that's my favorite version of the M249 right there.
I love that's my favorite also. It's cool. I mean, that's the good thing about like new, you know, DLC aside or whatever like that, blah blah. It's like still new modern weapons. Just I'm having a field day right now, so it's good to have content. It's nice.
Yep.
And the
Yeah.
Mark 48 too.
If you guys are listening to
Yeah.
this on audio and not as familiar with Buff's content, like Bluff and Blue's content, man, you got to follow those guys. Their notes are in whatever show notes or description, whatever platform you're on. Their stuff's in there. Buff does insanely cool conversion videos. If you like immersion and have Call of Duty, you need to watch his videos because he makes super cool, realistic tactical conversions
Especially
on the
Call.
weapons.
Yeah.
They look and play sick. So if you're an immersion Andy, you better be following Buff. And Blue's been hitting up Stalker, man, doing some Stalker streams in the morning with a lot of cool ass mods on there.
A lot of I just realized too, it's like a lot of hardcore games lately. I know Dead Side had like a really nice update.
Mhm.
And then the game that we'll talk about later. And then Stalker. Even Stalker's had some pretty cool stuff come out recently. About some like a demo that they had at a convention recently that only like 400 people got to play, which is really cool for Stalker 2. But it's just so many, like, especially for like the extraction game mode lately. Gray Zone,
baby.
it's just I'm ready. I'm ready for all these games to come out, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be good stuff. There's a lot going on in the shooter space to talk about. Of course, we missed a week, so that adds to it. We have today's episode, we're going to talk about the Battlefield 5 player numbers. Crash, the number one on top of the mountain, Battlefield 5 truther from the start, has to talk about the Battlefield 5 player numbers. I have to toot.
And I have no idea where this is going, so I'm excited. Bring it on. I want to hear this.
I know where this is going.
I have an idea.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised where it's going.
It's gonna be me rambling about how Battlefield 5 is superior in many ways to basically most other shooters. So buckle up for that. And then all of the comments in YouTube and other places and people seeking me out on X and Discord to tell me how dumb I am. So it's going to be that. And then COD Warzone 3 and Season 1 potentially next week. Going to talk with Buff a little bit about what he's hopeful for in that. I think by next week's episode, we'll have some more concrete info on that, I sure would think. This is going to be a little bit... a little bit more speculative stuff. And I'm also going to go on an insane rant about covert sneakers. I'm going to lose my shit.
I was ready for that.
I'm there with you. So just to preface this is before we get into it, and then we'll jump into the Battlefield stuff.
Even the new Ninja stuff too, as well. That I heard.
Yeah. I did play some SND, so I can relate with you here, Crash. So
dude,
I'm excited for that.
I think Blue was on this was in my Twitch chat when I was on the precipice of my meltdown. Like I was watching. Yep. And then we'll get into some Venatur drama. It sounds like the internet was used for good in that case. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then we have actually quite a few quick shots we're going to run through. So as much as I am enjoying chit chatting with these guys and you guys in chat, we should probably get on with it because we don't want to be here forever. I mean, I kind of do, but I can't.
Or do we? Yeah.
I mean, I do want to, but I shouldn't. I guess that's how I should say it. So the first thing I want to talk about is Battlefield 5 player numbers. This is going to be a really interesting one to see how it plays out, because what's happening right now is Battlefield 5 is essentially getting the same kind of bump that 2042 got when it went on a crazy sale. So there's a Black Friday sale where you can pick it up. It's really cheap. I can't remember if it was $5 or $9. It's single digit currency for Battlefield 5. Again, that's one of the live service ones where you get all the post-launch content for free. Also, what I just thought about before going live, and I'm going to check as soon as we get off of this, I wonder if we can find some PC Firestorm servers because there's so many people playing it. That is something I'm going to check as soon as we get off this show. I'm going to go see if I could get in a Firestorm lobby because that would be so sick.
That'd be nice.
Why I think this is going to be pretty interesting is because, in my opinion, I don't know if this is your guys' first time being here or not, I am a self-proclaimed Battlefield 5 truther. I've always thought it's a really good Battlefield in spite of the rough reception it got. I get it from an immersive or a technically like or a historically accurate like place. If you're coming from that, I get why a lot of people didn't like it. Yeah, so it is thanks Woo. It is $3.99 on Steam for Battlefield 5 on PC. So there's a ton of people playing it. The game got really good at the end. I will say these things about it and why it's going to be interesting to see if and how many of these players are going to be retained and within relationship to 2042, and if there's going to be a message sent by the player numbers. Battlefield 5 has a server browser. It has the best movement of any kind of arcade style shooter, like non-realistic shooter. You can lean. The slide is awesome. You can crouch sprint. It just feels really smooth. It is as fluid. It's almost as fluid as Titanfall, in my opinion, with movement, albeit not as fast. Like in Titanfall, you can fly, like
It's
literally
quick.
fly. You
Yeah.
can go fast, but it's one of the smoother and more responsive movements that you'll find in this type of shooter. Like I said, server browser, a lot of really good content. It's probably the peak performance of the Frostbite engine, in my opinion, in a non-Star Wars title. The Battlefront games looked amazing, but for a Battlefield game, this is peak Frostbite. It looks really good and it runs really well. It's super, super optimized. I'm really curious. I might have to end the show right now and go see if I can get in a Firestorm match. I'm really curious if you can play the VR. But man, it's just a really good Battlefield. It doesn't have specialists. It's got your traditional class system. The level trees for the weapons are interesting. A lot of people hate it, but I like the healing mechanic. It was called attrition. I don't think it really is. Where you can heal yourself once, and then you can carry a med pack on you no matter your class, and you always get at least one quick heal, so you can keep fighting. I find myself a lot of times in other battlefields, even 2042, you get in a gunfight and you have a really good fight, and then you have to wait. You either have to go seek out health, or you have to wait a really long time for health regen. But it's not spammy. You get one. You have one time where you can hit that and go back to fighting. It just feels really good. Like I said, with the leaning and sliding and everything, Frostbite engine runs well. It's pretty well balanced. Mechanically speaking, my favorite Battlefield. So you have all that to say, it's like the most recent game that feels really like a Battlefield 2. You don't have the crazy specialists running around. There are some weird skins, but you don't have the crazy specialists running around. I don't want to get in trouble with people who are like really historically accurate with things. It feels like World War II, even though it probably isn't even close to what it was like. It kind of gives you that illusion based on,
I will
like,
say when the Pacific DLCs came out and stuff like that, especially when Iwo Jima, that's when it really felt like a World War II Battlefield game.
Yep.
Again, I think that was like the best route. I mean, shout out to the trailer team again, especially just watching that on screen again, just reminding me of like when I saw that. I was like, all right, I think it's time to get back into Battlefield. Just for that alone, because like instead of seeing, woman with hook hands running around the map, it was
not their finest, reveal. That's
no, definitely not. Seeing guys rocket launcher, what was it, like some kind of Luftwaffe airplane out of the sky, and then the V2 rocket comes out of nowhere. It's just like, what the is going on, man? So, but besides that, I thought the Pacific expansion, in chat, was amazing. I thought it was one of the. It felt also. I think they did fix a lot of stuff that was wrong originally with the game on release.
Yeah.
During those updates, and that's when it towards the end, it was just a whole different Battlefield, in a good way.
I'll be honest, I never played this one because I played the beta. The trailer, that original trailer we talked about, like Captain Hook girl, turned me way off. But I played the beta and realized I could just keep playing Battlefield 4. So this is one of the few Battlefields I didn't buy.
Yeah. And that was the thing too. It was just close enough to Battlefield 4, where Battlefield 4 is still popular.
Yeah, I mean, I was still in Battlefield 4. I played 1 and then I went back to 4, so I was still having fun with that. But having not played it since the beta, I'm on board with everything you said, Crash, about the movement, the leaning, everything like that is great. I think if Battlefield 5 were just modern, not near future, but today modern, 2023 modern, I feel like that would be my perfect Battlefield game.
Yeah, it'd be mine.
So yeah, I'm all on board with that. I completely agree. I think unfortunately, just having grown up on so many World War II shooters, and they just came from Battlefield World War One. With Battlefield One, I was just like, so that was another thing that took me out of
That
it.
was
But
the thing,
yeah,
exactly. Growing up on World War II shooters for both Medal of Honor and Call of
yeah,
Duty,
yeah. And
I didn't
Battlefield
want another.
originally, yeah, and originally
Yeah,
Battlefield. So
Battlefield was, yeah, exactly. 1942. That was,
yeah,
that was the
so
Battlefield I started on.
I mean, in this specific trailer, I remember when this launched the trailer, and I was debating, I was debating it for. This is one of those trailers that like I would watch, and I'd be like, man, do I buy it on discount? I really, realistically, I wasn't going to play it that much to invest the time in it. But I agree, movement, everything like that is great. Reskin this for modern, and I'll pay the money all day. So
It's just that easy. Like,
yeah, that's
take
really.
Battlefield 5 and reskin it, man.
Are
Like,
you
we're-
listening, Dice? EA, like, I mean, I don't know how many times we got to do your job for you, but this is another example.
Yeah.
What is
I
this
mean, yeah,
episode?
reskin it
Whatever.
with modern graphics and modern shooter elements.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's it.
gosh.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't know what episode we're on here, Crash, but I mean, I think we've given them the recipe for the next successful Battlefield game. At least 50% of these shows so far. So
Yeah, we
hopefully
always
they'll-
get to it. Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
But I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, the Pacific DLC was just like right when people thought, oh, this game's gonna get good, and then they killed it.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
the-
and then the stop support. I was like, oh, great, all right.
yeah, because
Yeah.
they started with like what they would call like the lesser told stories of World War II. And people are like, what the like it's cool, but
Big
like
mistake.
where are
Big
we?
mistake.
And
Big
then they
mistake.
started the Pacific stuff. I was like, all right, we're gonna start getting like the D-Day and like all that stuff's gonna start happening. Like we're gonna start getting the iconic
Yeah.
battles. And
And
no,
they
we're
did.
actually done with the game, is what I said.
Can we?
No, we're
Can
actually,
we just? You bring up a
We're
great
moving the
point
entire
there.
team of Star Wars.
Yeah, right. You bring up a really good point there, though. It's like, think about okay, we know what happened with 2042 now. Also, like, so who's making the decisions there? Like, who said let's do a new World War II shooter with the engine where it is? Like, it looks beautiful, movement, but let's not have any iconic World War II battles.
Yeah.
Let's do the lesser known bat. Like, it's just so. It's just like what is the meme Pulp Fiction, where John Travolta's character is just like looking around, like
Sitting looking around, yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
what I get from the decision making.
You know what though? And this reminds me, this was around the time when like Hell Let Loose was popular as well too. Postscriptum was still kind of
Yeah, they were
doing
both
its
like
thing and
kicking
stuff like
off.
that.
Yeah, that's why I was shocked they
so-
went with World War II, because I remember talking about it then. I was like, "There's no way they're gonna go World War II," because you have Hell Let Loose, Postscriptum, and there were some other ones out there. It's like, why would they go World War II also?
COD was doing World War II as well.
Yeah,
Call of Duty.
Yes, they do. They were. You're right.
Everyone,
Call of Duty.
dude.
Yeah, so that blew my mind. I was just like, holy
because they
crap.
had the Call of Duty Vanguard first, right? Or was it
No,
Call of Duty World War
they-
It
II?
was
they had
World
World
War
War II
II at the
first.
time. Yeah,
Call of Duty
Yeah.
War II, they Call of Duty Vanguard after, yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Too
just
much
like,
World War II.
yeah, too way too. Even during the time, like the era of
Oh
World War
yeah,
II,
yeah.
during early FPS games, there wasn't that much World War II.
Yeah, it
You
was
know, and I was one of those kids growing up watching, World War II in color.
yeah.
So
This, when did this come out? This was 2018. It was just like every shooter was like, let's go back to World War II. It's
Yeah, and
just
I
too
think
much.
maybe
Yeah,
that's why they
so-
tried to do the lesser known ones, so maybe people would be interested like in something different in relation to World War II. So I actually kind of like the trajectory it was going on, was starting with the lesser known ones, getting people interested, and then starting boom, Pacific DLC, we got Iwo Jima, and then we're gonna do Battle of the Bulge. Like, can you imagine like a Battle of the Bulge with like the tanks like that are low on gas trying to make it across, and like everything
And that
that went on?
frostbite with the snow and
Oh,
the
it would've been
punching
great,
and-
yeah. Like a
Like-
It's
slow
like,
drip.
I mean, that's the thing.
then
And
culminate,
even
yeah.
what was that? There was that snow map during like the initial release of Battlefield 5 and stuff like that. That map was pretty. It was really good looking. Just the white of the snow when the sun hits it, and then when explosions was happening, caused craters in the ground and stuff like that. So
I
This
think
is-
one of the
I mean-
beta ones was a snow map. It was like a night
There's a
snow map
couple
for
of
the
them.
beta. It looked great. Yeah.
yeah, the night version of it. Like, oh, speaking of
The-
night maps, I mean, just like, come on.
Yeah. The
You
night
know?
version of it in Norway with the northern lights going on in the background is so sick. It is
The
without a doubt.
tracers in the background.
I don't know how you could argue this, although it is the internet, so somebody's probably going to try. I don't know how you could argue that this isn't the peak Frostbite engine in a Battlefield. Like
It looks a hell of a lot better than 2042. That's for sure.
Which is scary to say.
And it runs way better.
The year difference.
Yeah,
and it runs exactly.
Do you think it looks better than 1 though? Because I haven't played 5, so I'm not gonna pretend.
I think 1 is still has. I don't know what they did. Maybe it was the lighting, or
I feel like it was the lighting.
I feel like it was the lighting. Maybe the map design, perhaps.
Like gritty darkness.
Yeah, I mean the map design of Battlefield 1 was great too, and that's another thing too. Like, what was it? Because when Battlefield 1 came out, and that trailer absolutely demolished Call of Duty when they did their whole trailer. Futuristic.
Every week,
so good, so good.
Oh, so good.
But you know, you look at that, and then you see Battlefield 5 was a bit of a disappointment compared to Battlefield 1. Again, same thing too. Oh my god, another World War game. You know, after World War One.
Right.
But I don't know. You literally could take this. Now, the only issue I know that people are even still complaining, I've seen a lot on Twitter, are hackers in Battlefield 5 currently still.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
That's an issue. Yeah.
And they're not gonna do anything about it either. Which is really sad. Bums me out. So what I was gonna say about that is I think I want to put some caveats on what I said, because I did initially say Battlefield 5 looks better than 1. Fidelity wise, I think Battlefield 5 is better. Atmosphere wise, wait. Fidelity wise, Battlefield 5 looks better, like graphically and everything like that. Atmosphere and immersion wise, Battlefield 1 looks better. Battlefield 1, you feel like you're in a dark, shitty war.
Yeah.
Like when you play World War 1. The saturation's up. It looks a little bit crazier in Battlefield 5, but I think the fidelity of the graphics and the textures and stuff is better in 5. It's just so good, and it runs so good. The other thing is, why this is all going to be interesting, because they've done the thing where they've peaked over 100,000 players just on Steam, and it's also on sale on EA Play as well. So you have people on that platform as well, and we're just talking PC also at this point. So there's the other platforms as well. So there could be a lot of people playing Battlefield 5, and all that's to say why it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this holds players with a more traditional Battlefield feel, but also what Blue said, man, there's really no anti-cheat. And I haven't played it. I used to go back and play it almost every week up until a few months ago. There are so many cheaters in this game, just like Blue said.
Yeah.
There's no like anti-cheat. There's no like running anti-cheat even to catch blatant ones. So that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, man. If they're going to get absolutely obliterated by cheaters, or if there's going to be enough people to dilute them where you can find servers. I will let people know there is a website called bfvhackers.com. It's sad that this had to be created, but you can actually type in your server ID and it will scan your server and it will highlight potential cheaters. So if you have, it'll tell, and you can go around and try the different servers and put them in this website, and you can find a server that doesn't have a cheater in it. So if you guys want to play it, if you're coming across a lot of cheaters, check out that website and you'll be able to find it. What's also incredibly sad about that is there is a website that finds cheaters in the game and provides an entire list that any DICE employee could look up, and they still don't do anything. So that's the pisser. Good. That's the pisser there. So hopefully I can make a Battlefield 5 video this week. I need to do it. It'll probably just me playing the game, talking about how awesome it is, and then getting roasted in the comments about how the people hate it. Sounds fun. Sounds like YouTube. So,
sure does.
Yep.
So that's what's up with Battlefield 5. We'll need to check it out. I'm going to try to get a Firestorm one. Oh, if I can get a Firestorm.
EA DICE, reskin the game, make it modern, resell.
Easy.
Resell. That's it.
So game of the year.
Allegedly, what kind of information do we have, Buff, on Warzone integration next week in season 1? Is that like official yet, or is that just what everybody's thinking based on like Battle Pass timing and stuff?
They did say it is official that it launches on the 6th. As far as timing goes, I'm assuming it's going to be the typical like noon, 1 p.m. Slot, or if you're Pacific, 10 a.m.
On like
the 6th, December Wednesday, December 6th, I think. Did I get that date right? Yeah, the 6th is a Wednesday, so it'll launch on the season 1 with Warzone. and what's the other, where you run around and get money, whatever that mode is.
DMZ plunder.
Getting money. Getting
Yeah,
money.
money. DM
Getting
plundered.
money.
Plunder, yeah,
Bit-
that dumb mode,
okay.
yeah. No, it's good for camera for like weapon gun, but no, that'll launch with it. I don't know if they're launching like I don't know if they're launching what resurgence maps they're launching with it, but I think there is some. So we'll find all that out. But Warzone definitely starts with season 1 next Wednesday, so that'll be cool. That's really, I think, the most that we know right now. So I'm assuming we're gonna get a blog post sometime this week, end of the week, to kind of give us the preview, and then obviously in early next week. So we'll get that. The whole battle pass, the Black Cell battle pass, that's confirmed. We just don't know what it is yet. Rumor mill on weapons is supposedly that there's going to be at least 5 weapons for the season. Again, we don't know that yet. Gonna have to wait and see. And we're gonna get it. We should be getting a new weapon, also brand new weapon for the weekly challenges this week. That should be that Scar Hammer LMG, the IAR version. So that should be this week's challenge. So you look at it. If there are 5 weapons throughout the entirety of season 5, that means you're gonna get 6 primary weapons. That doesn't include like stupid swords or any melees, like actual guns. So that would be pretty cool. But we'll have to wait and see when that post comes out. But definitely, I'm kind of at a point with COD where I'm, streaming wise, I don't want to be. It's like hard to stream right now just because you guys are gonna watch us play the same mode over, like war mode, TDM, whatever. But there's always more stakes with Warzone. I like that sandbox, so I'm pumped for some Warzone. Just a lot more content to come with that. I think that's gonna offer a lot of good stuff for everyone.
I hope it's good. I hope the new map. I guess the new map seems pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play it on zombies. It's obviously just a different lighting, and there's a lot of differences with it. But I mean, from everything we saw at COD Next, it looks awesome. It's very Verdansk vibes, which is good. I think Warzone was at its prime with OG Verdansk. There was obviously issues with that map, but I mean, I think we've come a long way since. They've learned, zip lines, redeployable things like that.
How do you think?
Pretty good.
How do you think the just adapt kids are going to do with the covert sneakers in Warzone?
Dude, so that's something. That is something.
Figure it out.
It's gonna be so funny. Yeah. So I don't know what that's gonna play like in Warzone. If it's gonna be, if you even can select those in Warzone, or if it's gonna be a pickup or what. But if those sneakers are in Warzone regardless and they're not rebalanced, everyone's going to be crying about it, just like they did with Dead Silence in original Warzone. That was a whole thing for months. All the biggest content creators, Swag, Out of Disrespect, everybody, Nick Merckx, everyone was just roasting the devs, asking to take it out of the game, take it out of the game, take it out of the game. And now everyone was saying, oh, we need Dead Silence, not as a field upgrade, and you need to be able to have no noise whatsoever. So that if that comes 1-1 to Warzone, everyone's going to be crying like babies. And it's going to be really funny. So,
because there's only going to be one meta that people need to use.
That's how it is in search, man. It's so bad.
And that's the thing with search.
You did also get like the thing. Oh, you can hear the close, Russell, if you wear a certain headset.
No, you can't.
I know that was bullshit when people were saying it immediately.
I'm not listening for.
It's not.
I'm not going to listen for clothes to ruffle around during a gunfight and all the atmospheric noise going on in the environment. Like, come on! Oh my god! Did you just hear someone's jacket swipe their sleeve, Bill? Crash, did you hear that?
I heard Velcro. I heard Velcro.
I can't
hear a little swipe. Maybe does that mean there's somebody potentially near me? Question mark. Like, come on, get the fuck out of here.
I won't do it. Yeah, dude. Yeah, if I want to hear people moving around, I have to put some kind of like 15 different compressors and listen for clothes and blow my eardrums out by trying to listen for like the shuffle of uniforms. So not happening, man.
That, and then also like, and then the ghost option now, I guess, is now, what is it, like it only works when you're on the move?
Only if you're moving, which I'm okay with that. I think that's like,
I'm okay with that, whatever. But I'm also thinking like, have you seen some of the movement freaking gods in this game? They don't have an issue of movement. They'll be disappear from the map regardless. Doesn't matter, But
I think it's more so like end game. I think that's where it'll, because people like to hold positions in the end game. So it's like
Yeah.
that'll make that I think is where it'll come into play. But definitely the footstep things, like for anything that I think is a competitive type mode where there's stakes, like search and destroy,
I think it should be disabled.
Warzone. Yeah, that you should be disabled, or there needs to be a counter. There needs to be some sort of counter right now. And Crash, like, I wanted your thoughts, and Blue also. Like, I played Search yesterday a little bit with Justin, and I used to play Search back in OG Modern Warfare 2 with my whole like clan back then. I loved it, and the fact that the amount of times I think I died probably 50%. Realistically, I counted it at one point yesterday. It was 50% of my deaths in one of the games was from people with covert sneakers that you couldn't hear at
That's it?
all. Like,
Yeah.
like I'd be standing there,
Seems
if not
low.
more, but I'd be standing there with no noise, right? Like I had killed someone, there's no noise, dead from a knife, covert sneakers. It's just okay, cool, but there's no counter, which is the problem. So it's like, why am
That's the issue.
I playing a mode, an objective based mode with their stakes when you can't hear anybody, and there's no counter to it. It doesn't make so.
And here,
In my mind, there's no reason to ever play search and destroy unless there's a rank mode and that's disabled, or there's a counter. The fact that there's no counter is just ridiculous. Like, why would I play that? Why would I waste my time?
and I guess I'll take the moment here to say my thoughts on this whole thing, because I have very, very, very strong feelings on it. And you guys can hit the comments, chat, whatever. Just say I'm a boomer and can't play and need to get good and just adapt, whatever. I don't give a shit. Look at my stats. They're probably better than yours in search and destroy. Like,
Boom.
I can still play this way. I can play this way just fine. Why I hate it, and this is coming again from search and destroy perspective, is it's fucking boring. Everybody is doing the exact same thing. Everybody is floating around the map, flying around. It takes away the readability of any kind of gunfight, which is why I used to really like search. It's like, I like to think about what my enemy's doing, be a step ahead of them, predict them, and mentally beat them. Now it's just run around and whoever gets there first wins. It's all random. Also, the rounds are over so fast because it just makes everybody play aggressive. Everybody rushes. There's none of those intense moments where the clock's winding down. You got to decide to plant. Do we go for the last couple kills? Do we rotate to the other side? What do we do? Because the rounds are all over in 30 seconds because everybody has to rush. So, and I like it when you have an option. Sometimes when you can hear footsteps, it makes sense to rush. Like, we're going to rush on these guys. We're going to move and get to our spots, sweep this way, do a push around this route, whatever. It didn't work. We got to rotate. Like, all that stuff used to go. Now it's just run. What are you doing? What's the play here? It doesn't matter. We all have to run. We have to hurry. And you can't stay still. You can't hold angles. Another thing that's really cool that I like, and I was excited to learn these maps that are more intricate, is because you can think about how players are moving around the maps. You can read the mini map, and you can do some things that you can do in like Siege. You can like hold angles. Like, if you have one person sit here, hold this, one person sit here and hold this, you got to call out that the guy's in the back left corner, mid, in the tower. You have them trapped on that part of the map, and you can sit still and hold these angles, and you have map control while somebody else plays the objective behind you. There's so much more depth when you have to think whether or not you should move or not, when there's a cost to moving, because when you move, you inherently also have a bunch of advantages. You have Peeker's advantage. You have the element of surprise just when it comes to human reflexes inherently, adding the ping on top of that. You have a big advantage when you move. Now you have an even bigger advantage. Couple that with the fact that you have increased hit reg. So with the freaking spear, that's a 4-shot kill to the chest still. I can have somebody running at me around the corner. I can put 3 bullets in their chest and they just go with their knife in my ankle and I'm dead.
Yeah.
Couple that without being able to hear them, man. It's so, you're so fast. You're so fast with the knife, and it makes search so predictable. It makes it so boring. It makes it so boring
every time. Yeah.
But those people that you said before when you preface this, before you went into that, right, about people are going to hate in the comments, those are the same people that when you're in a clutch situation in Warzone and you die because you can't hear anybody, those are the same people that are going to be crying like little babies. So, just because maybe you don't play search, or that when it happens to you, it's going to be hilarious. Everyone's going to, if it is 1-to-1 for Warzone, the amount of people complaining is going to be
it's going to skyrocket. Yeah, it's going to skyrocket because
funny. They're going to be like, oh, when we said we want dead silence, we didn't mean even though we said
Dead
we wanted dead silence, we don't
silence,
want, we
yeah.
actually don't want dead silence now, because now everyone's playing Warzone. Not everybody's playing Search, but then everybody's playing Warzone, and it's going to be a problem. So it's, it's obvious, it's as predictable as, the definition of predictable. It's going to be hilarious next week if, and hopefully it's addressed in a blog post and I say something about it. But regardless, I mean, if it's not tweaked, it's going to be, and they need to fix it for Search. Why is it? I mean, if it's base multiplayer, fine, but any stake based mode where it's an objective based mode, like a one life mode, there needs to be at least a counter for that in that specific mode for it, and then keep it.
Yep.
Keep it no noise and all the other crap, whatever, for the other modes. But if you're in an objective round based mode where your life means something for your team, the objective, there needs to be a counter. Whether there isn't is just stupid.
Yeah.
That's terrible, terrible design.
I think,
and
I think something that powerful that everyone's using, literally every single person in Search is using it. There's no counter. Even if the counter wasn't like a complete reversal of the perk, even if it was just like you still heard them, but they were like 30% quieter, that's fine. There just needs to be something, because like I said, right now, especially in Search, also you have these maps that have come back that are like really big and stuff, and there's all kinds of different places that you could play. The gunfights happen in the same 10% of the map now, because it's like you have these angles and you rush, and it's just with the timing. Everybody sprints to the middle, and the gunfights happen in this 5% little strip in the center of the map. So you play the same routes, you do the same thing. You have to do the same thing every round, or you'll get surrounded, and people will get behind you. Good in an orgy, not so good in COD. So you don't want to get surrounded and stuff like that, and people behind you. So you got to be careful. And I'm telling you, man.
Watch your eyes, boys. Watch your eyes.
I wear goggles, so it's fine. Got to protect the peepers. It's just, I don't know, man. And I guess Ghostly said, don't get the hate for covert sneakers. I'm curious. Dead Silence Ninja is classic COD. True, it is classic. However, the crazy fast movement and the super torqued aim assist haven't always been classic COD. The movement is much faster now, as well as I've always had a problem with the dead silence in games where movement and tactics matter, like Search. I really don't care and I've said this before, I think it's fine. I think it's actually probably good to have this in the respawn modes. And this comes down to, again, where a classic case of Crash wishes that S&D could be balanced separate, because I just wish it could be.
You could dream.
And be more competitive. And it would be like my dream game.
In the original Modern Warfare series, at least Modern Warfare 2, I thought there was a perk for, I don't know what it was called. There was a perk with like the symbol was like the ear, and that was the counter for dead silence.
That it would cancel out dead silence.
Yeah, or at least reduce it. I don't remember what it was. But
the thing is, you use and that's the thing. Even if you use one of those perks as a counter, you're losing a slot for something else that you could be using. Same thing, even back in the original Call of Duties when you did put on dead silence, or or ninja or stuff like that, you were losing something else on top of that. So it was a balance that you had to choose, and a sacrifice that you made yourself. So you could run around quiet, but you knew at least one person on the enemy team is at least running the other perk. So you still have to be careful where your footsteps are, even on one life game modes.
Yeah. And now it doesn't matter. You can just put it on and run around knowing no one's going to hear you no matter what. It's just, so it's not like classic COD. There's literally no counter for it whatsoever.
I think,
which is stupid. That's just bad game. No counter for, and it's just like a fucking ghost running around. What the hell I played Search for maybe 30 minutes yesterday, maybe like 3 or 4 games. And I just told Justin, I'm like, why am I even playing this? You can't hear anybody on the map. Like, what are we playing this for? Like, let's go do something else.
Yeah. Because lots of times, like the folks that I play Search with, we used to be like, all right, here's what we're gonna do this round. Like, we need to go here. Literally, now we don't do anything. We don't talk. We just have to run to the middle and fight it out, and that's it. I mean, and you can say crash, adapt, and stuff. Like I have a 270 something win loss and around a 2 KD. So like, I know that's not insane or anything, but as a
But
36-year-old
it's
dad
not
on
like
PC,
you're dying every round over and over again, letting SBMM help you out. You know,
yeah, I'm just running the
like
game.
it's
But I mean, as a 36-year-old dad on keyboard and mouse, like I feel pretty good about those stats. And I mean,
better than me.
my
And I
stats are
mean,
a
I
little
never
bit.
play Call of Duty, so
I think my stats so far are a little bit better than they were in the last one where you could hear people move. So I mean, it's not that I'm not getting shit on by it. It just makes the game predictable and an absolute snooze fest because everybody's doing the same thing. Every game plays the same. So
I agree with that. I was very disappointed just playing a couple games of Search, and pretty much, unless there ends up being some sort of nerf or counter to it, I have no intention of playing like
and
a one life type mode again.
and maybe there will be like some kind of perks or something. That like DLC perks or something that counters it. Or maybe they'll
Yeah.
make the bone conductor actually counter it would be cool. And like I
Yeah,
said, not even like a
why
complete
wouldn't it?
counter.
Yeah, slight mitigation is all like whatever percentage reduction. But I do think, I mean, it's gonna happen. I don't think it's a matter of if, it's when. But I know for a, I mean, I don't know for a fact, but it's pretty obvious they did it like this at launch just to satisfy the community, right? This is Modern Warfare 3 is basically, hey, Modern Warfare 2, don't, the developers didn't listen to you at all, so we're gonna listen to you, satisfy you, and then after you're all, happy and buy the game, then we'll make the necessary changes. That's what I feel like is happening here, because it does, you look at it, it makes zero sense that there's not a counter. Like, that's pretty sure that's the first in COD history that there isn't a counter to dead silence, because even in previous ones, dead silence, like, you weren't completely silent, I don't think, at least from my memory, and I've played every Call of Duty
it's
Modern
been a
Warfare
long
one
time since I
forever.
played. So yeah, I couldn't say from experience right now because I
I
just
was
don't
pretty
remember.
sure you could always, if you were listening, you would hear it'd be very, very quiet, but you could still
I
hear.
believe so too. I believe
Even in
so
Modern
too.
Warfare 2019, it was very quiet, but you could still hear. It wasn't zero footstep audio.
I want to
What
make
would
a
happen
super cut of all the streamers losing their shit when they're in the
for
final
Warzone? Yeah,
circle and they get
dude.
knifed. It's gonna be
I'm just gonna, if it's not fixed, I'm just gonna, there's gonna be a day where I just do that and just run around and knife everyone at Warzone, and then just like laugh, just
yeah,
fire
Dead
you
them.
have
silence.
to win in Rome. Like can't beat them, join them.
Or
Yeah,
my Converse sneakers.
it's just silly. I can't
It is
wait
dumb.
for the comments to Crash is just a boomer, adapt, get good.
And then we'll do
You're
the
gonna
show.
get that everywhere.
Then we'll do the show. Hang on, what's the dates? We'll do the show not next week, but on the 11th of December. And everyone's gonna be like, they need to nerf covert sneakers for Warzone.
They gotta get him out of here.
Insane. It just doesn't make
Get
any
him
sense
out
that
of here, boys.
you can't hear anything and there's no counter. Blah, 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 doesn't belong in the game. Same thing they said 3 years ago.
Watch.
So,
Well, wait till it comes out. We'll see on Twitter. We'll check it out.
yeah, history.
We'll come back the week after.
History doesn't repeat itself; it rhymes, or in this case, pretty much repeats itself. It's gonna
Pretty
be a
much
one for one.
It just repeats
Yeah.
itself.
It's a free stuff.
I think
gonna be great.
One to one.
I might have to do something. I might have to put my thinking cap on and come up with a counter to it. Maybe like the awareness perk that like makes your screen flash if someone's like behind you, and then couple that with a shotgun, so I can just turn around and one shot the knifers that are running up behind me.
I
fun.
was thinking about it, and I commented on Twitter. I think I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, so whoever my Warzone team is, we're gonna have one designated person with an RGL just backpedal behind us the whole time.
Oh yeah, we just got to move through the map back to back, and they can't touch us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shotguns and RGLs, then you're good.
But no, man, it's pretty silly. So yeah, next week should be season 1. It'd be there's so many things about this game to like when it comes to search. I honestly enjoy the little bit longer time to kill. The maps,
Same.
even though they're old, that's why they're decent. So there's some decent maps in there. Like you said, 5 new weapons, and we know that there's at least 3 new 6v6 maps coming in the new update. So you got all that stuff that's so good and pretty cool, and the game runs pretty well. I haven't even seen that many bugs, and I've played a fair amount of it, but it's just all comes down to one thing, makes it like boring as shit. Whatever. I guess when I play it every once in a while, I'll keep running to the middle, fighting in the middle.
You know,
Hell
it's
yeah,
real
man.
quick too with that the season 1 stuff for the zombies. I don't know if you saw like recently I guess I don't know if it's confirmed or if it was rumors, but the DMZ weapon case is coming back.
Oh,
Originally.
what is that? The one where you can like edit your weapon in game, or
Yeah, or it's like
Extract the blueprints?
they're just weapon cases from DMZ.
okay, yeah, I know. Yes, okay, I know what
You
you.
know,
Yeah.
the yellow ones with like the question
Yeah.
mark on it and stuff like that.
Yep. Okay, that'll be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so but no, it's funny seeing and I just saw it because it was a rumor for like the zombie news and stuff like that on Twitter.
Mhm.
People are somehow still in shock that DMZ is not coming back to the
I
game.
am.
And I was like,
Yeah.
you guys didn't know that when it was announced? Like when Modern Warfare 3 was announced, you guys didn't realize that DMZ isn't coming back?
I really think DMZ aside, zombies, they need some sort of PvP. Whether you enter like a dark zone or something, there needs to be like. There's no, for me, no real incentive to play. Zombies just, I played a little bit. It's just like very boring for me personally,
Yeah.
because the PvP aspect is like, there's always like a risk there. And with zombies, like there's no risk.
It's
you
just
know?
PvE. Yeah, they literally. I mean, again, and even what they're saying, it might be adding a wall to zombies. You're literally just making a PvE DMZ.
It's stupid.
That's all you're doing.
It's really weird. I feel like, and it feels, not to get too off topic. I know we have other topics here, but it feels like Infinity Ward was like, let's add a simulation. Oh, we added all these armored vehicles too, and the 6-man teams. We don't know how to balance the game. Oh, and like freak out like morons.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the simple solution was don't have a simulation. And then they're like, well, we got to just cancel the mode. We just can't do it anymore. We can't figure it out.
Oh man,
It's just insane. It's like,
I don't know what to do.
Like, play the fucking game and use your brain and realize that there shouldn't be a simulation. Problem solved. Like, it's not that hard. I don't know. Like, I'm available to hire if you want me to do your job for you, Activision. I'm just saying.
Need some consulting.
But
gigs.
we'll just trash it and make it zombies. It'll be great. Like, come on.
Oh, but
it's lazy. It's lazy. Lazy
stuff. Bring it back.
Yeah,
You
but
want it
we'll
back.
bring everything back. They copied the whole mode and then just put zombies. So stupid. Stuff like that just pisses me off. Why not do both? Why not do both? Like, you had a mode with DMZ that had so much potential, and you just wasted it for some game that supposedly had 3 to 4 years of development, and you were like, oh my god, we added these armored trucks with grenade launchers and a simulation 6-man teams, and people on Xbox are making 10-man teams assimilated right off the bat. Teams are having truces and not shoot each other, and we don't understand why the game is toxic and people don't want to play it. Wow, crazy.
Let's just
done with my rant.
Okay, counterpoint. Let's just make sneakers so everyone floats around the map.
Yeah, and they should have just put the covert sneakers in DMZ, and that would have probably fixed it. And they should have just everyone on the map should have been able to assimilate with super ghost no noise sneakers and maybe a flying perk. Can I get a Jesus Christ perk by chance, maybe, and just fly around the map? And then when you assimilate and a 6-man, you reach a full 6-man stack. Everybody just gets bonus sneakers because they're a 6-man team. And you might be onto something here, so. Crash. Holy crap.
He's onto something, guys.
I think a 6-man floating hover team that has no noise is the perfect way to go.
Someone's got to clip this and send it to Infinity Ward, right? Because that's right. That's some scientific shit.
That is also something that they would probably do. Like, this guy's got a good idea.
They're gonna patent that immediately. It's gonna be in Modern Warfare 4.
Sarcasm, right just there. Like
you heard it here.
Real deal.
They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's it.
That's it."
Bill, they hit it. They hit the nail on the head there. Did you hear that? Get working on that. It's genius. People are gonna love it.
Lord,
they make no sense, man. Sometimes, like, seems obvious to us, but anyway. So,
well, that's because we're logical thinking humans. Maybe the executives over there. Maybe because Microsoft bought them out. Maybe there'll be some sort of like rational thinking involved.
Phil's gonna fix it. Fix it, Phil.
Maybe. Let's hope so. We'll have him on the show and air our grievance.
Yeah. He's probably watching now, so don't worry about it. He heard it. You guys want to talk about this? How do you say it, Blue? Venatur?
I always thought it was Ventar. I don't know. They say Venatar.
Is that the Italian word for stealing assets or thief? Or
I think so. I think it's Mamma Mia. It's Venatar. You know, it's a me, Venatar.
This is starting
I thought it was
well.
like dinosaur at first or something like that.
It
I
could
don't know.
be.
I was so confused when I first heard it. You know.
Oh,
Awesome.
this is starting well. We apologize to all our Italian patrons out there. Come on, man. We can't be like
I
that.
got Italian in me. It's fine. I can.
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
use
you're
it.
good,
same,
man.
same.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
So, so I guess, oh Christ, this is the last show. We had a good run. It was fun. Okay, so I guess what happened is, do you want to talk about it, Blue? I got a kind of a synopsis of it.
Yeah. Okay. So when I first heard about this game, it was when I saw Tacti streaming it on Twitch. Didn't know what it was. I just saw, extraction game mode, looks super early in development. Nothing really to write home about. Some people were already streaming it on Twitch. Funny enough, that day too, when I saw there was like at least like 200 to 300 people streaming it. I was very shocked when I saw that. At least viewers on that category. So I was like, all right, cool. Moved on the next day. All of a sudden, I guess Fry puts out a video. Big Fry TV. You guys don't know who he is. Good friend of the channel. It puts a video out there basically showing that Blue Drake 42. If you guys don't know who he is, he's another YouTuber as well. He and his team, Drakeling Labs, made a completely free game called Operation Harsh Doorstop, completely community funded and stuff like that. Apparently they saw some of the gameplay and immediately recognized some of their very own assets that they made for OHD in Venatar or Ventor, whatever the hell you call it. So all of a sudden, Fry, Big and Blue Drake are talking, DM, stuff like that. I'm guessing they had this conversation. The team from Drakeling Labs lets them know, sends screenshots of everything that they've seen at that moment so far that was stolen. So Blue Drake puts out an email, sends it to the guys saying, hey, you got 48 hours to get rid of your assets. Simple. That's it. Then, and it's hard to explain because the mental gymnastics that these people went through their heads to try to justify using someone else's game assets in their game, which, by the way, used to be on Steam. Venatar, we're talking about, used to be on Steam, is no longer on Steam, and they were selling it for, I think, $30 to $40, like 39
$40.
Yeah, 40. So, I thought it was. Yeah,
United States dollars.
I think it was 40. Yeah, US dollars. So, it was already kind of scummy for just the price itself. Now all of a sudden you're telling people that they're using your assets and stuff like that. All right, cool. So they get the 48-hour notice. They get an email back saying the weirdest thing. I mean, like, I would have to really go back and go through because it was a lot. I mean, like, so basically, what's up?
I was just gonna say, I think basically they kind of said that they got it from someone else on the Epic store. So basically they didn't steal it, someone else did.
Which is like, okay, you made a mistake. Cool. Let them know where you got it from then. If you are generally that innocent and you didn't mean to steal specifically that game's assets and you just took it from something that you found on the Epic, marketplace, send Blue Drake the link of where you got it from, and then whoever you got it from will get all the heat. You still have to remove the assets. Right. It doesn't, excuse you from still using the assets, but you won't get the brunt of it. Apparently, that wasn't the case. On top of that, even the community that played Venatar in the background was somehow defending this monstrosity of a project. I mean, literally, it was like stolen directly from it. and just some of them are retextured in different colors. That was it. Like, you couldn't have been more in depth of taking assets, especially when they have the dev logs for OHD showing them making the models bit by bit. So
And it's kind of like if you bought a car that was stolen, and then you're like, well, I didn't steal the car, and it gets found out that you bought a stolen car. You're like, well, I didn't steal it, so I get to keep it, right?
I'm still gonna drive it. Yeah, exactly.
Not how that works.
And I'm also going to apply to work for Uber in this stolen car and make money off of it. That's kind of the same thing. So you got that going on. All of a sudden, they decided, the people, I guess, that under Italian laws could go after Big Fry and Blue Drake for DMCA copyright strikes because of protection of privacy and slander, all kinds of stuff. And they wanted 24 hours of an apology, and basically that would extrapolate all the people in that slander.
Oh
so
my God.
They went all out with this. It was hilarious watching this unfold. And
What's
then of course,
no, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll jump in.
No, only because continue, because it gets better. It gets better. Continue.
Oh boy, really? Okay. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, Ash, what is the what's our rules of things I should or should not say here? I got a lot of things I'd like to say.
I'm down with whatever you want to say, to be honest. But
the thing of it is, I thought about the DMCA thing that Blue's talking about, because they threatened to DMCA people that was talking about it. And I said, go ahead and copyright this. I mean, you can get the 27 cents that we make per video. I'll send that your way, I guess.
Well, and that's the thing too. It gets better for OHD. So basically, after everything that happened, apparently, I guess all of the controversy, all of the issues that they had, people getting, just demolished in comment sections and stuff like that, they went out and emailed Blue Drake and posted on their website, on their Venatur game, that they're updating the maps by changing the assets, is what they said that they're doing now with the game. And on top of that, and I have to read it because it was just so funny. Fry had it on his stream today.
I pulled up Fry's tweet with or his
the tweets, the Z. So you have that, but then from the email to Blue Drake from someone named Alessandro Capolini,
I have that
could
too.
be one of the guys from Seba Games, which is the developer. Which you're not a real developer at this point, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. I hope it's a good day for you, Connor. We are removing assets from the game as requested. So they finally decided, all right, we're going to remove the game's assets. They still didn't say where they got it from.
Yeah.
But they just went, all right, we're going to remove them. We made all the refunds that indicated your cause. God, it gets weird. For the legal costs, I honestly don't think it's possible to get the money from you, which is from Blue Drake and Drakeling Labs and stuff like that.
That's
which
the most honest sentence he said.
I'm glad Blue Drake didn't have to go through this lawsuit, because I know that just would have been a hassle, and he would have won for sure, but it just would have been such a thorn in his side and stuff like that. But apparently this is because our finances, and this is Seba Games talking to basically Drakeling Labs, have dropped significantly, and I don't think we will make it to the end of the year. The damage caused to the company by the dissemination of defamatory news and the lack of opportunity to defend ourselves in a competent court caused for us not only unsustainable repercussions at a corporate level, but also the financial collapse. This unfortunately raised a level of controversy. Evaluate your actions carefully for lawyers. If the intent was to shut us down, intent successful.
Hey, is there an address where we can send them some feminine products to help out with their little little crybaby?
Just
something to help with the flow.
Here's the world's smallest tiny violin, just
basically they admitted that they stole it based on their actions, based on removing the assets and shutting down, and never giving
they went and stole it.
Yeah, and never telling Blue Drake where they quote unquote got it from on the marketplace. And then you have them absolutely crying. It's like, all that development work that we stole and didn't actually do is going down the drain. It's like, dude, what are you out like 20 minutes because you stole everything?
And it's all your fault. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, I am.
We are happy. I'm glad. All right. Guess what? Time to move on. Next.
Yeah.
Crappy developer incoming. You know.
On to the next one. Man,
God forbid you have to actually do work. Jeez.
Yeah. All that work
someone grew up and just got participation trophies their whole fucking life. Come on. Get over it.
All that work of them placing those assets in the Unreal editor that they stole from OHD, man. All that work of putting those in the
and it could have been so much different.
Recolored them, okay? Like that's probably a lot of work putting new colors on them, Crash. Give them credit, man.
Sorry, man. I didn't think of all that.
Sorry, man.
Whole new colors. Come on.
So this is one of the cases where the internet was used for good. I feel like this warms my heart.
Yeah.
So to actually call out the trash, and it actually gets handled, and things are as they should, with the company folding for stealing other people's work.
What's the game called? Venatur?
Venatur.
We can't make games. Is that what it is?
Venatur. It means thief in Italian.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, what it translates to.
They're never gonna sell any game ever again. Better change your studio name and actually do your own work.
Yeah,
that is an option.
Siba Games. That is not. These are the people that are apparently doing that. So yeah, it's seems like it's finally dead in the water. It's gone. I don't think it'll be a game anymore, or even a studio, which would be nice. But they could come back. Who knows? Maybe try to say sorry and stuff like that. I don't know.
The funny thing is, like, all of it could have been avoided if they were like, "Oh yeah, we didn't know. We're so sorry. This is where we got it from. We'll change it. Give us the end of the week, and we'll push out an update." Problem solved.
Exactly. If you asked for more time, I'm pretty sure he would have been all okay with it. Let's say it was a genuine, mistake. We just found out on the Epic Marketplace, because what happened was they took the SDK from the Epic Marketplace, not OHD the game itself, but the SDK that is already free for anyone to use and make your own mods for in the first place.
Yeah,
you just can't take it and pass it off as your own work
and sell it for money.
And sell it for money. Exactly. So, and then there was like rumors saying like, oh, there was guys from OHD and their, development team that went over to Siba Games, and then, oh, they took that, they took their assets. It was only their assets that they made for the game. That still doesn't give you the right or the excuse. That's still illegal. That's piracy. It's still piracy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you wouldn't steal a handbag, right? Like that's still pretty bad. So
yeah, it's still proprietary to that studio. You can't you can't take proprietary property and resell it. Like that's insane.
So it all ended on a good note though. So, it was definitely, it was pretty interesting to see if the DMCA was even going to work or go through. And if it did, it would have affected, the channels for a bit. But then, I'm pretty sure the YouTube managers for both Big Fry and Blue Drake would have realized what was going on and stuff like that. But I'm glad it doesn't even have to come to that point. So
yeah,
it's an overall win, which is nice.
That's like a whole nother topic on how like the DMCA system needs fixed, and it could be weaponized and used.
Yeah. And even just in general, just like, for OHD, like the reason why they made that game in the first place was to combat bad developers like this in the first place.
Yeah.
Exactly what it was used for.
I watched Blue Drake's video, I think, earlier today.
Dude, I watched that entirety for sure.
Yeah. I think I saw it today. Finally, it popped up. I don't know when he made it, but yeah, I watched the whole thing, and yeah, exactly why they went in and make that game specifically. And then like this, it's just, I'm glad it worked out, and I'm glad him and the studio stuck to their guns. Or just called them out on it.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to a lot of the team at Drakeling Labs, Goobs, and those guys, because they definitely went, and also people that were just going in and like sending information of like, hey, this is another thing they stole, this is another thing they're here. So it was a lot of community support all around, which is super nice.
Yep.
And then of course just some really bad takes on Twitter, but that's just our X, so that's just the internet. There's gonna be bad takes in comment sections everywhere.
Yep, fuck those
And we're
guys.
looking forward to yours.
All right.
I can't fucking scream, dude.
Oh no!
I can't
Quick
scream.
shots! I'll do it for you.
My voice is gone, bro.
I got you. I got you.
My voice is gone.
I got
Not
you.
today.
The first one is a really quick shot. With Tarkov Arena around the corner, it's actually supposed to be coming out this next month, which is pretty exciting. Start rolling that out. This is just kind of a PSA if you're interested in playing Tarkov Arena. This is something that came from their podcast. Even if you have the Edge of Darkness edition where you do have Tarkov Arena, you need to go to arena.tarkov.com and sign in, and then it'll show that you are registered. So even if you do own the Edge of Darkness edition where you will get Tarkov Arena, you need to go log in on the Arena website, and it basically kind of reserves your spot and it shows that you own it at that point. And then you'll be, it kind of gets you your spot in line when they start rolling it out. So a little PSA for Tarkov Arena.
Cool.
If you're interested in it.
Good to know. Good to know.
Even quicker shots.
Even quicker shots. I can't scream, dude. I'm just like imagining myself screaming. We need to, when my voice is better, make it a voice.
Yeah,
button.
we should record it so it just goes right along with it. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
This is really exciting for Xbox players. We've talked about this game in the past. Scum is coming to Xbox with the 1.0 update. So relatively soon, if you're on Xbox, you'll be able to play Scum, which is pretty cool.
Great survival game.
In my opinion. So keep an eye out for that. Check it out. If you're interested, go to X and follow @ScumGame. And that's with their 1.0 release. It'll be ported over to Xbox. That's pretty huge.
I'm curious how the keybinds, or I guess the controller binds, are gonna work the game, because there's a lot when it comes to the medical stuff for that game. Also, it is a really beautiful game, and I run that game on like ultra settings. Oh, half cocked,
Hang
half
fire.
cocked. Hang fire.
I gotta clear the chamber.
What it's gonna look like on a console, because I don't know. I always feel like games like that get downgraded, especially like, I mean,
Yeah,
there's DayZ.
PUBG did. PUBG had a rough port, but maybe the Series X will handle it better or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
Yeah.
I'm making stuff up at this point. Which is what I do.
All right, finish the.
Oh, that one went off.
I thought it was just gonna go just off.
It would be sweet if it did. Yeah, Blue. Did you want to talk about the SCP 5K update? If you wanted to.
Yeah, SCP 5K. Recently, English is tough.
It is.
Recently put out their update, the 0.13. Pretty huge update actually overall. They're focused more on the horror aspect now instead of the tactical aspect, because the weapons and the tactical aspects are already great. And they completely redid the like intro area, and it's scary. Like, it's legit a horror game now, and I love it. And they also reworked a bunch of weapons, added a tactical knife, a pipe. They had a crowbar in there as well recently too. So, and then they're also adding to their raid storyline as well too. So a lot of cool stuff with that, and it's also on sale right now for $13.99, which is normally $20. So I think it's worth it if you love SCP stuff, weapons. Yeah. I mean, the guys that worked on the Insurgency Sandstorm ISMC mod worked on the weapon animations for this game. So
the guns in this game look amazing. I remember Blue, one of your videos last year
showcasing the Scar.
I was like, I mean, I didn't know.
It's gotten better.
Yeah, and I've watched a lot of videos. I mean, I was gonna say, like, with the Scar video, I didn't know porn was allowed on YouTube, but there you are posting it with the Scar. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff, I know they have the Knights Armament LAMG and a bunch of other stuff, so it looks great.
Dude, they added like an AS Val and what was it? The SR3M Vicar. Yeah. It's so good, man.
Yeah,
and
the game looks
even
awesome.
just like the character animations. It's
This is what
really
I've been following for a while. I really like the way it looks this, so I'll probably take advantage and get it on sale.
The trailer's really cool, man.
Shout out to the trailer team recently too. That was really
the
really
muzzle
well
flashes at night, like that looks sick. I don't know.
Man. So, and they also just recently released another hot fix patch today. So they're just on it, man. They're just on it.
I'll have to check this
Oh,
out.
yeah.
And then Project Quarantino.
Project Quarantino.
Quentin Quarantino.
In Tarantino,
I'm horrible.
made this game himself.
bad person.
Project Quarantine. I recently got to work and talk with and play with the lead developer for this game. Cool German guy. Actually found out recently, and it was kind of cool because I was like, oh, I lived in Germany, so we had that conversation. But anyways, Project Quarantine is a super. I have to really preference this how early it is in development. Like things are still in orange box, gray box mode. There's only 2 levels, but it's going to be a hardcore first-person extraction game meant for single player and co-op in Unreal Engine 5. So it's already, that alone should excite people. There is a demo that you can play right now for free. Again, super bare bones. And there's a lot more that changed with the, I guess, quote unquote, Patreon build that I got access to. But not much really. I would say more just UI, new map, stuff like that. But one of the coolest things is, and they showcase everything, the AI, the way the AI moves around. Because if you're going single player PvE, you got to have good AI to back up to make the fights engaging. And the AI are already like, they go and they take cover, they shoot from behind cover, they know when to flank around you, they work with the other AI around themselves. It's pretty crazy. And they're pretty good shots too. They're not like aimbot as well either. So that's also really cool. And the weapon customization is really cool as well too. In fact, there is a company that's working with them, Sure Shot Armament Group. Apparently, didn't know that was a thing. Apparently, they're working for their AK stuff as well too, and they are a U.S. manufacturer for Kalashnikov components, and they're working with the game Project Quarantine, as well as the same guy who's making the level design for SCP-5K is also working on Project Quarantine, and they're also the Project Quarantine guys are working in close tangent with Black Site, which is like the overall group that helps with OHD and SCP-5K and all bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, they're on the right path. It's just gonna take some time because they only, and I was talking to him because I know a lot of people, they think early access, they think extraction shooter, they always wonder, hey, why is it taking forever? Well, it's 8 guys and only one of them is full time, which is the lead developer. The other guys are working part time. Hell, one of the guys is still in high school that's working on some of the level design, and that's he's in one of the guys for SCP-5K, and you see how good SCP-5K is. This guy's still in school. Like, it's insane crazy. The amount of work that these guys are doing and their off time. You know, I mean, they're still getting paid for it for sure, but still, like, you know. So they also got a Patreon as well too, which I don't have the link for right now. But
so Blue, what you're saying is they do their own work. Right, they do their own work.
Oh yeah, that's another. I made that video, and I specifically said that they wanted to be more transparent because that seems to be very rare nowadays in game development. So wow, yeah, it was, you know, yeah, they're making their own stuff, man. They're making their stuff. But the thing is too, they you know, get it. They have to subsidize an asset where they need to, but then they go in and then they fix it and they make it their own. So
we need a Patreon for this podcast.
Would you guys pay for a Patreon? I don't know.
What if it had crazy bonus content?
Crazy perks.
Club streams, my God. Hell yeah, let's go.
Got the audio version a couple days early, maybe.
I might have to talk about that. We'll talk about that.
I don't know. Podcasts seem to do Patreon. I don't know. They just all do it. It's one thing they do. I don't know if this is a podcast or what the hell it is. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I am. I blacked out. All right. The next thing I wanted to talk about, I didn't hear Blue talk about this. Chat tried to ruin it early. I wanted to maybe surprise him and get a reaction out of him. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So we'll see. But The Division Heartland gets a rating in Taiwan, hinting a release date could be imminent.
Oh, please. Oh,
Huh?
please, please,
Huh?
please, please. Oh, my God, dude. I was just, it's funny because I saw Lieutenant Buzz Light. Oh, my God. I'm always forgetting his name on Twitter. But he literally, Lightbeer. Yeah. He was like, this is Division. And he put Division and then Heartland and Resurgence. I don't really care for Resurgence. It's mobile. But
Same.
I want Heartland so bad.
Same.
That's literally, I literally like on my phone, like if I like were to open it up and stuff like that, like there's like a little like notepad right there, and on it is like feature games. First one on the list, Division Heartland. I just want it so bad. I'm just like, give me my Extraction. You know, I don't care if it's third person. It was fun. The beta was great. It's not bullet spongy like original Division. You know, it's just Dark Zone, but all the time.
So let me hit you. Let me hit you with this. So this is the quote real quick. There's not much to add, but here's the quote real quick from IGN. It's first spotted by Twitter user Karaskis. The rating first appeared on November 14th, 2023. As Karaskis points out, the rating, which includes mentions of PC, PS4, and 5, Xbox One, and Series XS versions, suggests a release date could arrive early as late January or early February of 2024, if we're lucky. It's best not to give your hopes up for an official scheduled update until Ubisoft has more to say. The rating could be a sign that things are moving in the right direction. So generally, when they start getting ratings from the digital game rating committees, you're going to start to see stuff ramp up and get closer. So they're thinking potentially based on that timing, it could be by January or February of next year. So in just a few months, could have.
Okay.
Division
cool.
Heartland. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know.
I'm excited. Thank you for letting me know that information.
Yeah.
That was a nice surprise.
I can't remember who at the beginning was talking about it in chat, but I thought they were gonna ruin it. I tried to kind of brush it off. So
I didn't see it. So I was
yeah. So whoever that was,
I didn't see it.
Whoever that was, I'm sorry.
Whoever it was, screw you. Just kidding. I'm sorry. I love you.
I didn't mean it. All right. The last quick shot. Project LLL, triple L, weird name. Had a trailer that released that was interesting. I think Phoenix put this in the Discord, so appreciate you. It is I'll read this from the description. Project Triple L is an open world MMO third person shooter developed by NCSoft. Players will interface with an expansive world filled with epic battles within a vast and dynamic environment, offering a wide array of weapons, skill combinations, unparalleled gameplay experience. This seems like a game that is a long shot to get complete, but they did post a trailer on IGN.
I'm looking at it right now, yeah.
And it actually looks kind of crazy. Like if you think of an open world MMO that's a shooter, it's like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it looks super futuristic.
It feels like it feels like the plot of like a movie.
Yeah, it does.
Like this is how people die in real life because of games like this.
Yeah. I don't know.
A gamer.
It's crazy. It's like it kind of looks like Anthem, maybe, like with the exosuits and stuff. But then
I mean, I love the level design.
It almost looks space combat-y, but then you watch the gameplay and the world seems like realistic, like modern, like run down buildings.
He's like walking around and yeah.
Like the forest.
Then there's a helicopter. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff. But like I've never been able to get into an MMO, but if you give me a firearm, maybe I can, you know? So that's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah, the thing about MMOs and firearms, it's always like it feels like turn-based type combat, and I'm just not a fan of fighting with ranged weapons in MMOs. So,
this actually also almost looks more impressive to me than the day before, just because you can tell it's like gameplay, and the world.
Yeah, it's not on a rail system. Yeah,
the world like does look crazy. It looks pretty. It
does look sick
and huge. It looks huge. So I don't know. That's something to watch out for. It looks
really cool, actually.
Like Korean, maybe that language.
It is. It's a Korean developer, NCSoft.
Okay.
Looked it up. So yeah, looks pretty cool.
It's got some first person shooting as well. But I mean, if you give me a firearm, I might be able to get into an MMO. I don't know. The world just looks huge. Yeah, that's all I had.
Cool.
That's all I had. I don't really know much about it, but it was cool. And I thought you should check it out if you want to. If you don't want to, then don't, and see if I care.
No, that's it. That's it.
All right. I think that's a show, guys.
Go be broke, boys. Just kidding.
Beautiful.
Shit. I think that's a program.
That is
Love
a
it.
program. We did it. We made
Perfect
it through.
timing.
All
Perfect
right.
time.
So you guys have a wonderful week. We are all glad to be back. The episode will be uploaded to all the podcast platforms soon. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you are an audio listener, you guys are awesome. We appreciate you. Thanks to everyone for hanging out in chat. Chat's always awesome. We love you all. If you want to support us, be a friend, tell a friend, bring someone back with you next Monday where we will talk about everything going on in the FPS space. We'll see you then. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.